welcome in to Blue Jays Today, where tonight, everybody, we are going to be talking about what the Toronto Blue Jays can potentially do next. We will, of course, be revisiting the Bo Bichette deal, the Kyle Tucker deal. There's some funny tidbits we have about the Mets, the Dodgers that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be answering some of your questions because you guys have been sending them in. Some video messages, some audio messages, too, that we're going to be sharing with y'all. But just overall, the grand, I guess, through line of all of this is where do the Jays go from here, and do they go anywhere from here now that Kyle Tucker and now that Bo Bichette are officially off the board? Welcome into the 100 people that are joining us right now. If you haven't already done so, please hit that like, smash that subscribe button, and if you do have a question for us and you want it answered tonight, go put it in our mailbag. The link to do so is in the description, and maybe we will get to it.
Yeah, and you'll see some video and audio recordings sent in by you guys. Now, we'll have to review them after the fact, but if you want to send it in tonight and we'll bring it up next week, you can do that as well. And if you want to, like, a text message, question that we can pop up on the screen, we'll do that. What's going on, everybody? It's good to see 164 people in here so early. I'm going to be honest. I had some thoughts, just sitting on the Bo Bichette thing, and again, I want to reiterate, GG's to the Mets, and good for Bo Bichette. I've been seeing some comments about Bo Bichette. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, just like I am as well. But I've been seeing some comments that are just like bashing Bo Bichette, calling him like a bag chaser, and like how he screwed over the Phillies. Really? Oh yeah, how he screwed over the Phillies because they had a 7-year, $200 million contract. But you got to look at the reality here. He obviously was still considering the Mets in some capacity because he made a pretty quick decision. But also what made a quick decision is when you see $42 million per year with those opt-outs, that's like a gift from God, literally falling on your lap. And I think any one of us would reconsider our prior, almost a commitment to another team. If you saw that fall in your lap and you haven't officially signed, you would go that way. So I just want to defend Bo Bichette because he's in his own right to make that decision. You can feel that way strongly about him choosing the Mets or not choosing the Jays. That's totally right. I just think we're being a little bit harsh on him for flipping over like that real quick.
Well, I would say that he is a bag chaser, but I wouldn't put the negative connotation on it, because at the end of the day, he earned the right to chase a bag by doing his time and playing really good baseball for 6 years in Toronto, and you get potentially 1, maybe 2 opportunities to do that in your entire MLB career, and then that's it. You're out of the league, and you got to decide what you're going to do with the rest of your life. So he earned the right to chase a bag. I don't look at it I don't look at it negatively. That was literally, this is what free agency is, okay? It's
turned into bag chasing.
Exactly. It's a capitalist society, folks, and Bo Bichette was well within his right to go and to renege on the Phillies offer and then instead jump at the offer that the New York Mets gave him, because ultimately it was insane. Now, we're going to talk more about that soon, but I do see some individuals in the chat saying that this offseason is a major failure. And we did go from being on top of the world 24 hours ago to now having no Kyle Tucker and no Bo Bichette. Where are you right now in terms of the off season as a whole? Doesn't look like, well, we'll see, but doesn't look like right now we're going to get that major offensive boost that we were hoping for.
Like, as of right now, I said this before, walking into 2026 with this current roster, we have Kazuma basically being your Bo Bichette replacement, and then you've got, Chris Bassett out the door, Max Scherzer out the door, but guess what? You're bringing in Dylan Cease and Cody Ponce, and then if you want to count that Shane Bieber, player option pickup as a move, that's a third one right there. And then you toss in, basically you're getting Tyler Rogers in the mix. That's going to help the bullpen. I think the bullpen's kind of just been neutral, but that was a huge swing in the pitching staff, the rotation I'm talking about. And offense, we definitely, as of right now, took a step back. You're hoping guys take a step forward, but you can't bank on that. So just looking at things right now, I think we're still in a great spot, especially looking at the rest of the American League. Looking at the AL East, Yankees haven't done anything so far. Boston, while they got Ranger Suarez, I think we can all agree, we made a lot more pitching moves than they did this offseason, so you can say that we almost did better than them. Baltimore had the best offseason getting Pete Alonso, and then the Rays are getting rid of dudes. So it's we're still very competitive in our own division, so I still feel good. It just comes down to What are we going to do in the postseason? And what are we going to do if we actually get to the World Series? Can we beat one of those crazy NL teams?
So I do see a comment in here right now, and I'm gonna throw this back at you because somebody's coming at you right now.
Oh, shit.
And this is the Gentleman's Club 929 saying, Buddy on the right, and for you guys it would be Adam. Buddy on the right said, "We're a World Series
I've been
team.
seeing this comment.
Are you high? We lost our best hitter. We don't have a closer. We got a guy who's never played in MLB, Kazuma. Clement and Springer will regress." What do you have to say to the people? Because I imagine that it's not just him. I do think that there is a community out there that feels this way. And to his credit, there are some points that he's making there that are accurate, right? Is Springer going to regress? Likely. We did get a guy that hasn't played in MLB before. We do have a closer. Is he as good as Edwin Diaz? Obviously not. Is he a top 5 closer in baseball? Likely not that either. So he is making some points, but what would you say to kind of push back against that?
These are very definite things that we have that you're saying right now. You're saying that, like, Clement will regress. Okay, we don't know that. You can say Springer because of the age. You don't know if Clement's going to regress. Clement had a very good defensive year and a low 700 OPS. Like, that's not a crazy ask for him to do it again.
Will he regress from the World Series? Yes.
Yes, because he's not a 450 batting average guy.
Yeah.
Also, too, you're saying, okay, we don't have a closer. Why can't I flip the script on you and say, well, Jeff Hoffman can progress? He was awful in the regular season. If you look at the stats, why can't he progress? We're just going to rule him out completely right now. And also, too, I don't know. I saw him say that before I even said a single thing. So I was like, where are you getting? It must be an old video or something. But the point is, you look at the AL. What's a World Series team? A team, for me, in my opinion, maybe everyone has different opinions here, a team that goes to the World Series. You win you win your league, you win the American League, you win the National League, you go to the World Series. You're a World Series team. The Blue Jays were a World Series team last year. I look at the American League, just like I said, who is a team that you're scared of? Probably the Mariners. After that, I think it's the Blue Jays. So they could be a World Series team, even with the roster they got right now. I think you just got to look at what's happening and take your biases aside and look at the team, what they could have in 2026.
Ultimately, I think it's important to try to evaluate everything on this team and try to make an unbiased opinion as much as possible. And it's very difficult because we are biased at the end of the day.
We're all biased. We have opinions.
But when the team is shit, I like to think that we call the team on being shit. And we look at every single player and we look at every aspect of this team and, just going through it all, it's like, oh, that's not a really good team. And there's not a whole lot of upside there. When I go through every single individual on this team and when I look at all aspects of the roster and everything, yes, there are certainly areas of it that could do worse than last year. But ultimately, I see more positive here than I see negative. Maybe I'm going to be proven wrong in 2026. That could happen. That definitely could happen. It's sports, man. We play the games for a reason here. But I look at this roster, and I still think that it is certainly better than average, and better than probably 25 other teams in MLB. Like, this is a good team. This is still a very good roster. It's a good squad. Is the offense going to take a step back? Probably, because it's tough to be back-to-back years in a lot of categories. It is tough to do that, especially when you're losing one of your best hitters.
Yeah.
But is the pitching going to take a step up? And to your point, Jeff Hoffman, we don't have a closer. Well, I'll tell you what, if Jeff Hoffman gets any worse or does roughly what he's doing or does roughly what he did last year, but again, we're going to get a new closer because that was the year.
Reality.
That was like the leash, and now there isn't a leash anymore. So there will be changes if he's not performing. And if George Springer doesn't end up, if he does regress like a ton, he's going to get moved down that lineup. You're going to see Nathan Lucas get a lot more playing time. And George Springer's on the last year of his deal. And maybe they want to go make a trade at the trade deadline to fill that spot if we're not going to go out and get a Kyle Tucker to be our long outfielder here. All I'm saying is that I think that we're in a good spot still. I get the negativity, especially over the last 24 hours, but ultimately there is still more good than bad when you look at this team.
Correct. We got to zoom out. It sucks. Yeah, your last 24 hours can change a lot of people's opinions. And let me tell you, it has changed a lot of people's opinions. But we were in the same spot 48 hours ago. We didn't have either of those guys anyways. We thought we would, but that's why we kept talking about having the conversation. What if we didn't? And we both agreed. And everyone in the chat, too, was like, yeah, okay, it's roster's fine to go in and compete for a World Series again. if we didn't make any more moves, and here we are. But there could be some more moves. That is the title of this podcast. We'll get to that later on. Before we do, we got a dono in here. A 20 bomb from Daniela Castro saying, "Hey, boys, I missed the stream earlier today. All good, Daniela. Life happens. But I just wanted to say I wish Bo all the best, and hopefully the Mets can stop the Dodgers from going to another World Series, and it could be the Jays versus Mets in the World Series." Wouldn't that be poetic right there? I did see some other comments being like, "Enjoy, New York, Bo. You'll never see a postseason ever again," which they're one season removed from the postseason.
Yeah,
so,
but it's also the Mets, and the Mets occasionally met, and that does happen. But who knows? Maybe Bo is the missing piece right there. Shout out to Jason here saying, "Good upgrades, no overpay," and that's definitely something that you can hold close to your chest, right? I think that you look at what New York just did. And even though I would love to have Bo Bichette here, and I do think that the money's not even real at this point. Like, if you have the money, then you can spend the money, and it doesn't mean anything to them. But it did feel like a panic buy, that's for sure.
Oh, 100%.
They lost out on Kyle Tucker. Steve Cohen was not happy about it, especially after tweeting last night. I didn't even watch, but I'm sure that he got memed to oblivion today. After tweeting last night about the smoke, and then obviously he ends up going to the Dodgers. So I'm sure that this was a panic buy from him, and snaking out the Philadelphia Phillies probably was the cherry on top for him to just go over the top with the $42 million.
Oh yeah.
So Blue Jays did not overpay, whereas the Mets definitely did.
Yeah, they did. We got a dono in here, 699 from a new subscriber. Shout out to Lee JYJ saying, "I am a recent subscriber. Love your content. Do you feel somewhat deflated where we'll likely win AL but lose to the LA Dodgers, I'm assuming, in the World Series? So the exact same year? I mean, if we did the exact same year, sure, it will hurt again, but that's still a success. 100%.
If it happens the same, like if it's the exact same thing, though, yeah, of course I'm going to be deflated. Now, I don't want to count our chickens here, folks, because ultimately you still got to win the American League before you do anything like that. But the LA Dodgers, yeah, they are the biggest enemy of all of baseball right now. In fact, we have something really cool, right? Well, it's not cool. It's sad. It's sad. It's scary, and and it's not fun. But take a look at these lineups here, guys. Take a look at these two lineups. This is the 2026 LA Dodgers lineup up against the 2025 American League All-Star lineup.
Yeah, I think it would be fun if we all went pound for pound, position by position, and figure out which would we rather have.
We were going through it beforehand, and it is really close, guys. It is really close.
Yeah, because you look at this. DH, obviously, Shohei Ohtani over, who was the DH? It was Ryan O'Hearn. Obviously, smash that every single day. Mookie Betts, I'm probably still going to take over Jacob Wilson. He's exciting and young and cool, but I mean, yeah, Mookie Betts is Mookie Betts.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet on the Hall of Famer.
So that's two right there for the Dodgers.
That's definitely two, just position for position here. Now, this is where the American League gets one on the board because Kyle Tucker, whilst he is awesome, Aaron Judge is better, and you're just gonna take Aaron Judge over Kyle Tucker in right field all of your time. 2-1. Now, I think that the American League ties this up here, but it's close. Because Will Smith, it's marginal here, guys. It is marginal. And if you tell me that Will Smith has a better season in 2026 than Cal Raleigh does, I would definitely believe you.
Yeah.
However, I would take Cal Raleigh, big dumper, over Will Smith. So it's 2-2 right now.
And then this is where it's a tie. And I feel like the Blue Jay bias in me wanted to say Guerrero as well, but we looked back at the numbers, and actually Freddie Freeman had a hell of a better season than Guerrero did in the regular season. Not the postseason, but regular season. It's a coin flip. We gave the coin flip to the AL, so we'll give the coin flip to the LA Dodgers. So 3-2.
Very close, though. Very close.
Very close.
It could be Vladdy over Freeman.
Yep.
I could believe that. But
totally
either way, it's the same. It's the same right there.
3-2.
Teo over Riley Green. I would take Riley Green in that situation.
3-3.
Riley Green's really nice. So that's 3-3 right there. Then you got Max Muncy, and I would take Caminero.
Yep.
So that's 4-3.
Yep.
I likely take Torres over Edman.
Okay, 5-3.
But then, honestly, I'd probably take Andy Pages over Baez.
Yeah, Baez was a one-hit wonder. Pages actually hit a lot of home runs last year out of nowhere. Like, where did this come from? So, but there you go, 5-4. So 4, you'd rather take 4 just LA Dodger players over the positional side of things. The best position players in the AL. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's how frigged up the LA Dodgers lineup is.
Point
even
being,
with Kyle Tucker,
it is a all-star lineup. Like
Yes.
it's an all-star lineup. That's what it is, and that's not even factoring in the all-star pitching staff that they have as well. Because
and I'd probably take most
really
of
stupid.
I'd probably take most of those guys. I guarantee you, line up the LA Dodger pitching staff and go through the Cy Young votes of the American League. It might be very tight as well.
Oh, totally.
Oh my God! Like Crochet. Crochet, am I saying that right?
Garrett Crochet.
Oh my God, dude!
It's like Garrett Crochet's there.
Yeah.
Tarek Skubal's there.
Hunter Brown. Okay, like Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Blake Snell, Shohei Ohtani. Oh my God!
Again,
like,
it's
very
close,
comparable.
right? It's very comparable.
Like-
Point being, this is the new evil empire.
Yeah.
So yes, we would be very deflated if we lost to LA again. I really do hope that another team is capable of knocking them off. Like somebody in the National League has got to do this for baseball. Phillies, Mets, I actually don't give a shit. Whoever wants to do this, make it happen, man.
Everybody's rooting against them.
That
And
is
look, if
the
you're a
case.
Dodger fan, like you should love that everyone's rooting against you. That means everyone wants to be you, right? Everyone's jealous of you. And I see sometimes Dodger fans like getting mad at us for getting mad that they're getting players. You should love that. You should absolutely love if all the other fan base were like, the Blue Jays can't keep getting away with this. I'd be so happy. You know why?
Yeah.
That means I'm winning rings. That means we're signing the best players. That means I'm on top of the world.
Like-
It's the same thing that happened with the Astros.
Yeah, actually,
Like-
think about this from the Dodgers fan standpoint. Like, what do you what do you want me to do? Like, cheer for you?
Yeah, no,
man. Like, this sucks. If anyone with an ounce of self-awareness that's a Dodgers fan can realize that for every other individual that likes MLB, this is the worst. This is the fucking worst.
And you should love that and not like rip on me like, oh, what do you mean? Blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just so ridiculous. We also got another donor here from Culturepreneur with a $2 donor saying Santander bounce back year makes up for this. And yeah, I mean, that's one of the many guys that we kind of need to take a step up, especially him, because he was literally a non-factor. Barger needs to kind of take that even third step in his development. Ernie needs to keep it up. Varsho needs to have a big contract year. Like, the guys need to do work. Kazuma's got to be serviceable in some regard and be a positive impact on the team. So everyone's got to make up for the loss of Bo. And I think this is a good transition right now because we got a few sponsors to get to. We got a new sponsor later tonight, but we got a few sponsors to get to. Let's get to the OG, though. Sports Interaction, everybody. This is presented to you by Sports Interaction, Sportsbook and Casino. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction, Canada's homegrown sportsbook. We have a line here, and this is right in line with what we're talking about, which is Blue Jays. You're walking in to the 2026 season. Do you like your roster? And fans, do you believe in the odds right here? And the odds do say the Blue Jays are still second favorites to win the American League East. They're 3.5 times your money, whereas the Yankees are 2.85. Because now that everything's kind of settled, lines have changed. Blue Jays were a lot higher. They've actually dropped down after not getting Kyle Tucker and Bo.
I get it. I do understand it. You could make some strong arguments that the Jays overachieved a little bit last year, and maybe the Yankees underachieved a little bit last year.
Right.
However, Yankees still don't have Cody Bellinger. We don't know what's going on with that, and we're going to get more on that topic a little bit later in this show, but that's got to be factored into their odds as well. And the same arguments that you make for George Springer, he'll probably regress, same arguments can be made for Stanton.
Yeah. Stanton's got to fall off eventually, right?
I look at them almost identically. Yeah. Two really, really strong baseball players who have had incredible careers, both of them on the back nine. Both of them had renaissance seasons last year. Are you going to do it again? I look at them the same way. So I think that they definitely have some question marks surrounding their team, as do we.
Yep.
But they're not a sure thing either, man. So
dude, I look at their lineup too, and I love Ben Rice in their lineup. I think that's a great, addition out of nowhere that came from their minor leagues. Then you got Stan, like you're talking about. Jazz, Jazz finding a home. Jazz turning into a pretty good player. Grisham, this was a once in a decade type of season he's had. Like before this, he was a low 700, high 600 OPS guy out of nowhere. Hit for an 800, but maybe he continues, maybe not.
And that's the thing, too. I don't want to say that that's not going to happen. because we have a lot of guys on our roster that's like just exploded out of nowhere,
Right.
and it's like here they are, and they're really
Yeah,
good.
like Barger, you know,
Like Barger,
but also
yeah.
like this guy's been around for a while. Anyways, just there are question marks. Just like we have question marks, they've got question marks. They really do need Cody Bellinger back, because even though he is. People think he's got question marks because of the inconsistencies early on in his career. He probably is more of a sure thing in this lineup than some other guys, I would say, because he's been good for the last at least the 3 years.
More dart throws are never a bad thing, and Bellinger is a relatively tantalizing dart throw for sure.
Yeah, yes, he is. But guys, if you want to go make that bet on Sports Interaction, go check it out. They've got you covered with pitch-by-pitch live betting and easy deposits and payouts. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. Go to sportsinteraction.com/BJN to open an account. The link is in the details. Ontario only. 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Would you take that bet though? 3.5 for the American League. It's not a bad bet actually, because anyone could win it, but it's actually not a bad bet.
I think I would. I think I would also. It would hurt to do so, but I'd also probably sprinkle a couple bucks on the Red Sox as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I would take almost anyone that's not the favorite in that division, because it does feel like any one of these teams could catch fire and bang, there it is, and it's their division. So I still like the Jays' chances. Not saying that we're not going to do it, but. Yeah, it is kind of open.
We got Mr. Julius H in here, the 699 Dono. Thank you very much, my guy, saying I prefer the combo of Davis Schneider and Ernie Clement over Bo any day. Thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not sure
here's the thing,
one, man.
are you they're both in the lineup? You'd rather have them both in the lineup over Bo Bichette in the lineup? I think I'd
listen.
Yeah,
I'm all. I like huffing on copium just as much as the next guy here, but let's call a spade a spade. Bo is a really good player, and losing him does definitely suck. Thought I saw you pull something up with Vladdy talking about
I
this.
did, yes. This came out while we were alive. Hazel May, she reached out to Blue Jays Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for his reaction on the Bo Bichette news. So Hazel May actually talking to Vladdy, getting his reaction here of Bo Bichette going to the Mets. And he says, of course, I feel sad after playing with him for so many years, but like I've always said, this is a business, and you have to look out for what's best for you and your family. He goes on to say right down here, I wish him the best. We won't be teammates anymore, but our friendship will last forever. That's nice. But yeah, that's the reality, guys. It's business, and everyone, again, like I was kind of seeing online, everyone's taking it kind of personal. The Blue Jays weren't offering him $42 million per year.
If you're gonna get mad at anybody, get mad at Ross and Mark and everything. And I don't even think you should, because it's stupid money anyways. But if you're gonna get mad at anyone, yeah, like it. Of course, you're gonna take the $42 million.
Yeah, of course.
And that's like he earned the right to do so. Doesn't have any ties right now to Toronto. He doesn't owe us anything, because we had time. We had years to extend him.
Yep, and we didn't.
And it never happened.
We always treat him as the number 2 to Guerrero.
It's always been that way.
Like, yeah, you can't get mad at Bo Bichette at all. And I came out with this like thank you post, and like on Instagram we had a lot of positive reactions, but on Twitter, like I saw like a lot of nasty reactions to the like me thanking Bo Bichette. They're like, "What for, that scumbag?" Like, guys, like you would do the exact same thing. Like, don't even kid yourselves. You would go take the money if you could. And like, some people out there might be it might be easy for you to say right now, like, no, I'm loyal to my team. Well, no one's ever offered you $42 million per year. So you might say something different.
It's a very different situation, because whilst he probably would have been loyal to Toronto, and I brought this up the other day, they weren't loyal to him, right? We put him on the back burner, and there is an element of disrespect that I was talking about this just like 2 days ago, saying that, man, if we don't get Kyle Tucker, I really don't like our chances to get Bo, because the way that this offseason has gone down, there is an element of disrespect. We said, you're number 2 or number 3. In fact, we even showed Alex Bregman more interest, if you will, than Bo Bichette, or at least that's what was being reported on. So if you're Bo, I mean, like, fuck that. What am I, like the sloppy seconds here? Like, that's no. Of course, I got to respect myself, and I got to respect my family.
You got to take care of business. It's generational wealth right now, and I know that he comes from a Hall of Fame dad family, and they already got generational wealth, but he's got to go make his own. So I respect the decision. Now, there is another thing that we haven't really even talked about yet through all the many live streams I had in the last couple of days. This came out, I believe, this morning.
Yeah, it did.
And it was talking about Bo Bichette and his, the report that what could factor in his decision is the artificial turf on the Rogers Center. And what's interesting is that he plays in the infield, which is dirt. Now, someone who's a grounds crew might have a better knowledge. Like, okay, like, are you still, is the dirt still relatively close to the concrete that's underneath and it's still not providing that natural spring? Probably, right? Because on a natural field, you got dirt and then you have some soil underneath. Whereas, again, you got concrete. So that might be a factor. I don't know the science. Grounds crew people, let us know. But what are your thoughts about that came out?
I think it's really interesting because this is something that I'd never really thought about.
Right.
I just didn't. I guess it never crossed my mind that this would even factor into somebody's decision. It just, you'd feel like this is just the way that it is. But yeah, I guess for Bo, who's played here for 6 seasons, has felt it and then has felt real grass and real stuff on another field. Prefers that, and that is actually a factor.
It's true.
Sadly, there's nothing that can be done about that because the Rogers Center doubles as a concert venue and many other things. That's
why they gotta get that other Rogers. What's that other? You went to saw Coldplay there. They gotta get that up and going.
What was that place?
It's called Rogers something, right? It's a Rogers Place
Stadium.
Rogers
I don't remember what it's called.
But I think they're doing that specifically because they're trying to turn Rogers Center into just a baseball,
space.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, if it's just baseball, then you can put down some grass and you can do that.
Because you're right. Like, it actually hurt. I think it factors more with outfielders than it does infielders. Because obviously in outfield, you're throwing your body around like crazy and you're sprinting hard. Not saying you don't do that in the infield, but like Dalton Varsho, I mean, he's got a lot of injuries happening and piling up all of a sudden. Is part of that having to do with the way he plays or the turf that's out there in center field? We've seen it in the past. A lot of injuries happen to these outfielders. So, I don't know. It is a bit of a factor, though. We've heard it with football, too. Like, even those guys.
Totally.
They don't prefer, or they prefer the grass, the soil, versus the turf because they get a lot of injuries.
Recently, actually, I don't even know the entire details about this, but I know that the San Francisco 49ers, there's not a scandal, but there's something going on right now where it was like people discovered something to do with their practice facility and while it was not turf, it was something else. I can't even really explain it. Like, it's the scientific shit that I don't understand. But there's actually, like, people are realizing that there is a specific reason as to why, or the correlation as to why more of their guys might be getting injured due to their practice facility. I don't know if this is real or not. This is something that I saw very quickly on Twitter and Instagram. But again, one of those things where if there is actually fuel to that fire, I would think twice about coming here.
I mean, if you guys are familiar, like, they get a lot of injuries. Like, their whole season, I'm shocked they're even in the postseason right now, but like, they are completely injured. I wonder if the Cardinals have the same thing. We'll see. But like, again, turf actually plays a factor. Never thought about it, but again, people were complaining. Again, God, internet's such a cruel place. I saw comments that were like, tell him to slide better then, because that's why he got hurt, because he slid and it wasn't at home. But like, I mean, come on. Like, let's be cordial right here. But anyways, that's the Bo Bichette stuff. I'm okay now to kind of close that book.
Well, you better be,
because we got to move on.
It ain't opening up anymore.
We got to move on. Thank you, Bo. I guess thank you, Ross, for trying to get Kyle Tucker. But honestly, like, I don't blame you because $60 million is a lot. That is moving on. We're moving on from that. What's next for the Blue Jays? I threw it out there when we initially went live for the Bo Bichette news that maybe there's a Cody Bellinger, interest from the Blue Jays. And Mark Feinsted did come out and kind of talk about that as well. He came out with a tweet right here, saying, with Kyle Tucker and Bo Bichette off the market, Cody Bellinger is now the top hitter remaining in the free agent market. The Yankees and the Blue Jays figure to be his top suitors because that's the fallback. Though the Mets, who remain in need of an outfield help, still can't be ruled
screw
out.
Off.
I know, like, come on,
Get out of here,
like,
man.
Leave. So, first of all, because we're going to dive into more about the Yankees, are you interested in getting Cody Bellinger over here in Toronto?
He was always the last one on my list.
Yep, same.
No offense, Cody, if you're listening to this. But
please sign.
Yeah, please sign. But ultimately, I still would like to have him come here.
Yeah.
He's a good baseball player. The last 3 seasons of Cody Bellinger, if you can give me that, I'm over the moon about it. It was really solid play that he had with the Yankees last season. I do think that the Yankees are undeniably the favorites to do it because that's where he was, and he played really well with them last year. However, there was a report that came out that they're not budging on any offer that they have right now. People were thinking that, well, with this current Kyle Tucker deal that just went down, and then also Bo Bichette getting paid insane amounts of money, both of them, that, well, now Bellinger's price is going to have to go up. And I think that there is some weight to that.
Yeah.
But the Yankees are playing hardball.
Yeah, they are.
And in fact, we got this article right here saying, hearing Yankees unfazed by the Dodgers Tucker contract. Bellinger, they're not budging on their reported 5-year, $155 to $160 million offer to him. They will not engage in a bidding war for him. They're at where they're at, and that's not changing. If that's the case, that's kind of a good thing.
That's like a decent deal, too.
You know what it's going to take then. 161? You want to come?
And again, like I think, and I could believe that the last 3 years of Cody Bellinger that we've seen are what Cody Bellinger is going to be. A low 800 OPS guy, mid 20s to maybe 30 home runs, 80 RBIs, 80 runs scored, like, decently high batting average, the upper 200s. Like I could believe that's what he was. I mean, he was young when he went through all those ups and downs and highs and lows, just like we saw Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Now, not as high, not as low, but it was definitely ups and downs. And now, at age 30, he's stabilized the last few seasons. I'm okay with it. Look, we still need to get an outfielder for 2027, 2028, 2029. Because as of right now, in 2027, there's no George, there's no Varsho. It's Santander. I guess you could throw a Barger in there. And Miles Straw, as of right now, I don't really know his contract, but I believe he'll still be there. I think I'd want someone in the middle of that order that can drive in some runs, like we brought in George Springer to do, and a little bit of pop like Varsho. And don't get me wrong, he's also good defensively too, so he could take over in center field right away. So I'm cool with it. I don't care about the money. I'd be cool with it.
Okay, let's do some quick math right here. Realistically, I think that you'd at least probably need to go to 180 to make it make sense for Cody Bellinger. And if it's 180 for 5 years, that is $36 million.
That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted. It was like 36 to 37, wasn't it?
Is
that makes
that
sense?
A massive overpay for Bellinger, or is this just the going rate?
That's what I was going to say. Like, at this rate, is it the underpay?
Might be.
Because Kyle Tucker got 60. And if you, again, I would still take Kyle Tucker over Cody Bellinger. Don't twist my words here. But you look at their last years, kind of side by side, not much difference. And in fact, you could make an argument to convince yourself that Cody Bellinger was slightly better last year. But, we're looking at overall sample size. So if he's going to get paid, what would it be, $24 million less? Is that the math? Yes? Yeah. I'll take, I get it. It's 5 years, not as long or as a longer deal than it would be for Kyle Tucker, but we were okay with going to 10 years with Kyle Tucker, and he will be bad in 10 years. So yes, I think that's an absolute underpay at this rate, apparently.
I guess that would become the new George Springer.
That's the new George Springer.
And that's honestly what people have been saying. In fact, Mike Wilner went on to, I believe it was Foul Territory, and he was talking about how he believes that this is where the Toronto Blue Jays will now pivot, because they still have Springer and they still have Dalton Varsho, who will be their contracts coming up after this season. And ultimately, it would be nice to not have to fill two major outfield spots and lineup spots next season, especially in a season that's very weak in terms of the outfield market. You can go out and you can get one right now, and then it's not much of a hassle, or not as much of a hassle next season. So that logic for me checks out, and I could believe that they might pivot and they might do that. Also, though, that's a lot of money for a guy that has had a lot of ups and downs. And you could certainly convince yourself to be more of a glass half empty individual on Cody Bellinger rather than a glass half full type of guy on Cody Bellinger. And we don't know where Ross and Mark are valuing him, because it does feel like, as much as they are willing to spend money, they didn't really want to get pushed around in the bidding war with Tucker and with Bo. Because if we really did want Kyle Tucker, they could have afforded it. They just chose not to. And rightfully so. $16 million's a ton of money, but they chose not to do that. Would they be willing to get pushed around in these negotiations, because I think at least it would have to be $36 million a year, and maybe even more.
And I think this is an easier negotiation because you're not having the Dodgers in there. And I know that Mark Feinstein brought up the Mets, but like,
don't say that, man. We don't know if the Dodgers are out. We don't know if the Mets are out.
If they're not out already, like, okay, you replace Cody Bellinger with Pages. Yeah.
I mean, why not? Right?
You guys got rid of him. He doesn't even want to come back to you. You got rid of. You didn't believe in him. Okay, screw that. Hopefully they're gone. If they are gone, which again, you're right, we don't know. Hypothetically, it's down between us, the Yankees, that would be the most interested and the most desperate, I guess you can say, to get him back. And if the Yankees are just not budging, which is again, it's such a weird offseason for them, then we should be able to swoop in if we really wanted to. And get them. That's a reasonable deal.
They have the funds.
Yes.
Are they willing enough to do it? Money's not a problem, folks. I keep going back to this. Money, it's not even real. It's not real to me anymore. Baseball, this is all a fairy tale economy that goes on. We can defer money. We can have opt-outs. There's so much, workings and inner stuff that can be done right here. And we're already in the third tier of luxury tax paying. Like, what's a couple more $1 million on it? I mean,
hey, we went to the World Series and made a lot of money. So, like, we can do that, right? So, we'll see. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm still okay with the roster, but obviously adding Cody Bellinger in there, he would probably come in and play one of the corner outfielders for now, while Dalton Varsho would still man center field. But that's huge. And we'd have the same problems we'd have if Kyle Tucker were to come in. Well, he would take over a corner outfield spot. Now you're trying to fight for spots for Addison Barcia. But again, great problem to have. You're trying to win a World Series right now, and adding Cody Bellinger, he'd immediately be slotted in number 2 in the lineup.
I'll tell you what I'm not doing, though, is I'm not getting my hopes up.
No, don't get your hopes up again. Don't get hurt.
Hopes up. We've done that. We've been there. We've done that. It didn't feel good. Getting my hopes up.
We haven't heard a single report.
That's the thing.
Nothing.
There's nothing
other than
for
that
me
Mark
to
Feinstein
actually
thing.
really hold on to right now. I'm going to assume that we're done, and then if they do end up actually somehow pulling something out of a hat, hell yeah.
Great. Then we're celebrating. Let's get some donos right here. We got one from Jason Stanley Meadows, $5 dono saying, free agent, but Farms now moving to drum up Bellinger. Overpay bid war. No thanks. We're good. Again, we discussed it. If it happens to be that way, then maybe the Blue Jays won't do that. But if no one's willing to overpay, then maybe they do swoop in. We'll see. We got Jasmine96 saying 2026 LA Dodgers is like when Golden State added DeMarcus Cousins after winning back-to-back in 2018. Remind me again who they lost to in the finals the next season.
So I've been seeing some comparisons of Golden State and how people are relating it to what they did. Yeah. I'm not a big basketball guy, so I don't really know the reference there or anything, but I find it's got to be even more so because in basketball, I know that it's more than 5 guys on your roster, but if you have 3 superstars, you're a super team. And then everybody else is just meant to complement those superstars. Dodgers have 15 superstars. So I don't yes, I hear what you're saying. It just is mind-boggling to me that this is happening in a sport where there's 9 guys in your lineup that all get equal playing time, and there's 5 guys in your rotation that all get equal playing time, and then there's 9 more guys in your bullpen that all get equal playing time.
Baseball theoretically should be the most equal playing time ever. Everyone gets one at bat. Sure, some guys are higher in the lineup. They might get an extra at bat every 3 or 4 games. But everyone should play the exact same time.
Well, but they do. What the point I'm trying to make is how it's possible that you have all of those guys being elite.
That's what I was saying. That's how drastic it is. Whereas in basketball, LeBron James gets 40 minutes out of the 60. That's 2/3 of the game, right? Whereas Shohei's getting 1/9. Unless he's pitching, then he gets
and he gets paid $70 million for that 1/9.
Yeah, for that 1/9. And Cody's gonna get 1/9, or not Cody, excuse me, Kyle gonna get 1/9, $60 million. That's crazy.
That's it's
actually even less
money.
I guess 1/9 because he's in the outfield and defending. But I don't know. Is he involved in 2 plays?
That's the thing, right? And then when we were having that conversation yesterday, where you relate it to quarterbacks, it's not even remote. The value and what they mean to their team And the difference in talent between like a good quarterback and a bad quarterback, like it's stupid. It's really stupid.
Every other year, it feels like there's a Kyle Tucker type of like Kyle Tucker is very special. I don't want to take anything away from him. He's very consistent, very good, 5-tool player. But in 2 years, there will probably be another one. I don't know who that is right now. Probably be another one in some capacity. So yeah, you're right. Like. Yeah, 50% of the game is decided by a quarterback, whereas 1/9, even less, is decided by Kyle Tucker. Like that's crazy.
Paul Phillips here with a $2 donation. Belly makes Jays better and Yanks worse. I agree with you, man.
Correct.
I do tend to agree with you. Jason saying no more bid war, overpaid theater, no Bellinger. I don't think there's going to be a big bid war, man. The Yankees came out and said that they're not budging. Maybe that's a play. Maybe they are secretly going to budge, but you come in with an offer. You give your offer. If he doesn't want the offer, all right, that's it. We don't need to do a big bidding war. But you come in with what you think your evaluation is for him. He says no. I'm fine to move on. Aaron Clement saying with a €4.99 donation. Evening from Bolton, chaps. A Springer replacement was always important this year, especially with the Varsho free agent next year too. Go get Belly, and that's the other flip side of the coin.
That's right.
That's the other flip side of the coin. Is it's not just for this year. It's for the years to come. And this World Series window, I don't want it to be over after 2026. We just got here. We just started.
That was the whole idea of getting Kyle Tucker in the first place. And Vladdy signing back, but I think adding 2 guys, as we've seen, having 2 superstars, a.k.a. Bo Bichette, rest in peace, is crucial for bringing you to the World Series. Because, I mean, LA's got like 7. But, like, we could have another one. That'd be nice. So, yeah, getting Bellinger, who is an elite player, would be crucial for that. Also, you got It's Your Boy 97 saying sad Bo is gone. Then you got Mike in here. Thank you for the dono, by the way. Mike in here saying they lost to the Toronto Raptors that year. Yes, they did. That's right. So maybe the Blue Jays in Toronto ends the 3-peat for LA. Let's hope that happens.
We do have to hope so, man. Just quickly flashing over to their payroll. I think this is kind of neat, just to show you how much of an evil empire they are. But take a look at this. This is the top 5, and this is why I can't be too upset about it, because at the end of the day, we're right there.
Yeah.
Top 5. This is MLB team combined average annual value.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays have the second most. Dodgers are by far and away the most.
Oh yeah,
hundreds of millions.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's ludicrous. But then take a look at the bottom 5, man.
I know.
Like that's just
the Marlins could just field Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, they have no one else on their roster other than Kyle. They could have almost a Shohei Ohtani.
Almost. Yeah. These guys could almost as well. Rays could get him, and then that'd be it.
They'd have Shohei Ohtani, and then like
Miles Straw maybe or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's it.
I was gonna say Okamoto, but not even that guy. Like
and then this is what's concerning. I saw some comments in our mailbag or some questions in our mailbag talking about the CBA, and I'm like. I'll bring it up right now, but like I'm so not ready for it because the CBA scares me. We have a little bit of a history with CBA where it locked us out one season and creating content was tough. But like it does worry me that it's getting this bad, and I would be demanding as a fan base of those bottom 5 teams for the MLB to change something. And because the owners aren't doing anything, they don't have to spend. They don't have to spend anything, and they can make their money and move on and be happy. Whereas, if you're a top 5 team, you could just keep like going and going and going. You're a money machine. Keep going and going and going. You can keep spending and spending and spending because it's like you're investing in yourself, and you can keep winning and winning and winning. And it's like you can't turn back from here. It's like how do you reverse this,
dude? It's I was thinking about this the other day, but like it's kind of like real life a little bit, and it makes it makes me sad.
Salaries,
it's just like you have this like small percentage of the super wealthy, and then like a larger percentage of the not super wealthy, and the distance between the super wealthy and the not super wealthy just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it never there was always you had the super wealthy. But then, like, behind them was still, like, not that far away, a lot of teams, right? Like, there was a lot of teams in that area. And, maybe the Dodgers spent the most, but it wasn't that overwhelmingly different from the St. Louis Cardinals payroll or what have you. But the difference now between the super wealthy, like the top 3, top 4 teams, compared to 20 other, it feels like real
gross.
life, where it's like the top 1%.
Yep.
And then a massive teardrop, and then everybody else.
Well, like you want to put it this way too, because I thought about the player salary actually, and I thought about minor leaguers too. Like if you want to include minor leaguers, every professional baseball player out there, if you put them on that like line chart and you kind of looked at like the percentages, like it's actually very accurate, because those guys in the minors, 30,000, 40,000 a year, like they're not making a hell of a lot right now. And then you look at what, okay, the ones that do make the big leagues, okay, boom, you got your big raise, like you're 600,000, 700,000, boom, but you're like, 15%. You're in the top 15 that actually make it to the big leagues. And then it goes very exponential from there, where like the only guys that are getting paid the most amount of money is like, the 20 to 30 guys every offseason out of like the thousands that are the MLB are getting the big bucks. And then obviously Kyle Tucker and those guys getting the massive bucks. So it's very exponential. And I thought about the CBA, and I don't want to, again, we are making it a conversation. This is where I disagree with the players union, because their whole thing is like, we're trying to protect players and the rights to go get paid. And I completely agree with that. But I thought about the last CBA when they had the lockout and the fear of missing a season. You know how that actually affects the most? All the people at the bottom. Because they can't play baseball and they don't have an opportunity to go make the money like the top 1% or whatever, because they're not playing. And because you want to get the opportunity to make the most money, these guys are now missing out on their dreams.
Yeah,
so that's
exactly,
where it's fucked
right?
up.
Like at the end of the day, Shohei Ohtani can miss the remainder of his career and still be
fine.
Generationally wealthy forever. But not saying that he wouldn't. Like he's still got tons of money, but like Addison Barger needs to play to show teams that he's good enough to get good ARB. And then, actually keep playing baseball, right?
And he's in the top 15 or whatever the math would be in terms of like he's still doing very good.
Yeah,
he's still doing very good.
Yeah.
And again, how they say we're trying to protect players, I hear where they're coming from, but they're forgetting about the 80% that are like, dude, I need to go work this year, else I'm gonna have to like start teaching or something. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm on the road traveling for minor league ball, but like the lockout's happening, so I can't work.
I know.
Like we're not talking about the majority. Again, that's why capitalism. That's why.
Couple more donations here. We've got a bunch, so thank you so much for all of the support and everything like that. We do appreciate that. And shout out to the 624 people that are watching right now. Hayden asking, who is the best guys available next off season? There is a couple individuals that are really exciting, really tantalizing, but don't get excited because they're going to be Dodgers. Tarek Skubal, for instance, is a free agent. And you want to get excited about anybody, like, that's a game changer. Mm-hmm. He's a Dodger.
He'll be a Dodger.
We have Corbin Burns with an opt-out. Will he take that? Will he not take that?
Maybe a Met.
Could be a Met.
Yeah, that sounds like a Met.
That feels kind of like a Met right there for sure. Yeah. Bo Bichette with an opt-out too, but tough to know if you'd take that or not take that. And then honestly, after that, it kind of it's weak, man. It is
very weak.
You need some people to have some really strong ears to get behind them and get interested in them. Trent Grisham, you want to have another good year and then and then maybe get paid. I don't know. Like if he would become one of the best outfielders if he had another good year.
Yeah, he would, because
he would become one of the best outfielders.
Who's the best guy? It's George Springer, right, in terms of AAV.
I suppose so.
Number 3 is Anthony Rendon.
We could get Anthony Rendon. It's a weak, dude. It's a weak offseason in terms of star power. There's, a
Randy Rosarena.
There's a few, but at the end of the day, they're going to be Dodgers and Mets. So I wouldn't get too excited about it, guys.
Yeah. Not at all. All right, guys, let's get to our next sponsor right here. We got a new sponsor here on Blue Jays today. That is Doer, everybody. Doer. We got contacted by Doer, and honestly, I'm glad we did, because they sent us over some merchandise, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's a pant merchandise kind of company. They sell jeans, they sell joggers, they're comfy as hell. I'm actually wearing some right now, and they're super, super stretchy. And I'm a guy that, like, I work from home. I literally do this podcast from home. I'll just wear sweatpants sometimes, and because I won't wear jeans because they're too tight and like sweaty. These feel breathable, and it feels like I'm not like sitting on like hard jean all day. It's like stretchy and comfy.
I do prefer that. Like I actually have to work on, I have to work in my bed sometimes quite often. And
that's right.
It's just like when you do have like tight jeans like that, it's not the vibe. Doer, phenomenal fabric. We did just get them in, so I mean, we'll see the staying power, but from everything that I've heard, it's like they are pretty elite when it comes to durability, and this is a Doer shirt on that I got,
same right
which,
here.
feels honestly very nice. Oh yeah.
Dude, it's actually very okay. I'm not even like no cap. I told them because they asked me like, what do you guys want? I was like, I would really need a white shirt because I need that with everything in the summertime. It feels comfy. It's great, guys. But if you want to go pick up some Doer products, you can get a discount for 15% off your first order if you go to shopdoer.com/BJT. I recommend it, guys. Go get it for a gift. It's Valentine's Day too. You can go get it for your significant other. But again, use code BJT when going with the link in the description, everybody.
Yeah, highly recommend, folks. We do have a couple other donations in here saying, what about trades? Do you foresee any? This is from Lily J with a $279 donation. Man, it's tough. Like, I definitely foresaw some trades if we got Kyle Tucker. Because now you have so much of just, like you just have so many guys doing the same thing. But I don't know. Ketel Marte at this point feels like there's no trade happening there. What's Arizona doing? They go and they make a trade for Arenado. Are they back in? Are they trying to do something here? Maybe.
That's another weird team. Not to totally derail the conversation. That's a weird team.
Super weird team. They're doing some weird shit over there in Arizona. They're doing some weird stuff in the desert. I don't know, man. I feel like at this current juncture, especially this late in the offseason, feels like some of the bigger trades might have already happened. Maybe a small one. Maybe get a small one for a bullpen piece or something. Yeah, but I don't think that you're going to get a team-defining trade happening in the next few weeks.
Like, I know a lot of people were like, trade for a closer. My response to that is who?
And if you're another team that has the closer at this point of the offseason, you want to get rid of your guy at this point. Pitchers and catchers report in a month, right?
No, it doesn't make any sense.
You're gonna get rid of your number one closer. I don't know. I think we're cutting it a little bit too close. So trades, I'm not feeling good about it. Jason here saying with a $5 donation, remember when we kicked Dodgers ass for 3 games? Remember when the Dodgers offense hid behind Yamamoto for 2.5 games? Me too. Yeah, dude. That's
what it came down to, man. Like, Yamamoto kicked our ass. Like, that's why he won the MVP of the World Series. If he didn't play, we win the World Series. Easy. If it was anybody else, we win the World Series. We probably win it. Dude, we probably win it in 6. Like literally, because he pitched, Game 2 and Game 6. We probably would have won one of those games, and it would have been over. And,
he carried their asses, dude. He put that entire roster on his back and carried them straight to a championship. But the thing is, with their team, at any given moment, they could have somebody do that. And that's why it's such a good squad, because it's so deep. It actually didn't even matter. Like, that's the crazy part, man.
Yeah.
It didn't matter that their offense, all of it went ice cold.
Yeah.
It didn't matter that Blake Snell suddenly forgot how to pitch, and they still won.
I know,
because they have enough talent there where even when most of the team is ice cold, they still win.
I know. Like, I forget where we saw it. We saw it somewhere today. The Dodgers played at a C- level to what they could. The Blue Jays played A+. We were popping off, and we still couldn't beat them because you had Yamamoto playing A++, S tier. Like, and again, some other guys too. Ohtani was popping off like crazy. Not pitching wise. That's the thing too. Even pitcher Ohtani we were getting to in Game 5, I believe it was.
Their pitchers were bad other than Yamamoto. Their pitchers were not good.
They were not good. Blake Snell, we were dummying.
Yeah, he was not good either.
Dummy. Remember the first pitch homer in Game 5? David Schneider? Oh, my God.
He's like,
killed them.
And then after the fact, he's like, Vladdy's a good player. I don't know about the rest of them. Or this is paraphrase.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that was crazy. And then, people were trolling him on his stream. And he's just trying to video game. You remember that too?
I do remember this. Yeah.
We also got another dono here from Aaron Clements. Let's go. €4.99 dono saying, also can't forget about the mental game. A free agency bat is a boost to the clubhouse. That was Santander last year. Haven't quite got that yet in 2026. Maybe they get boost because they see Dylan Cease and Cody Ponce and everybody. The pitching staff will be boosted. But you're right. You lost Bo Bichette. That was the cornerstone of your team for a long time.
I also heard an argument recently. My dad was talking to me about this on the phone today. He read an article, and he's got to send it to me because he likes this one guy that does articles, opinion pieces about the Jays. And the opinion piece was, and I think you can look at this 2 different ways, because the opinion piece was, it's good that we missed out and we didn't overpay for somebody like a Kyle Tucker, because paying somebody $60 million, how is that going to affect the team chemistry and the way that some of those people in the locker room feel about the monetary aspect of things? To which I do think there is a point. I could also argue that, well, you just invested $60 million in a really good guy, so maybe, you know, the guys all rally behind it and they're like, look at how much money we're investing here. But it would also feel kind of weird, like a team that's as scrappy as the Toronto Blue Jays, to drop 60 on somebody a year. Is it our identity? I don't know. We could debate that until the cows come home, but just another way to look at it.
Yeah, like I'm thinking from my perspective, if I was on the team, and obviously I will never be a professional baseball player in my life, so I'm trying my best to think what they would think. If I was just in the World Series, great emotional World Series, Bo Bichette leaves, gets his bag. And look, I understand it's business. I mean, at this point, I got to understand it's a business. But we do get Kyle Tucker to help out the team, and we already paid for Dylan Cease and Cody Bellinger getting paid. I mean, if I'm like a Barger, for example, right, and I'm not getting paid nearly as much, I'm just thinking that's awesome because we can win. And I know that my time's coming too. Like, that's part of the business. So if I understand it's part of the business, I'm actually not going to be upset at all by bringing in great players to my clubhouse.
I think that there's a couple ways to look at it. Just another standpoint, another viewpoint, and then you have Brandon here saying, I mean, Ohtani makes $70 million a year, and the Dodgers chemistry seems fine.
Oh, yeah,
Granted,
exactly.
they all make dumb amounts over there, so the fact that Teoscar Hernandez is like one of the lowest paid people now.
Actually, I think honestly now I'm kind of in the opinion, like if you are offended by someone coming into your clubhouse to try and go to the World Series, mind you, and win a ring, if you're offended that you're bringing in a great player for $60 million, yes, it's an absurd amount. If you're offended by the dollar amount, like, get over yourself. Like, go make the money. Honestly, that's just kind of my opinion. Like, he's here for a reason to help you win. And if you play as good as him, maybe one day you'll make $60 million. That's just the reality of the business. Like, that's like, I don't know. Even though I was bashing the top 1% about protecting players, that was more about the CBA. But like, that's business. I don't know. That's business. That's my opinion.
Different ways to look about it. Shout out to Ann Beacock, who just gifted a Blue Jays Today membership. Hell yeah. I believe it was AJ Marash that got that membership right there. W's in the chat for Ann Beacock. We got a couple questions submitted from you guys to our mailbag that we're going to get to. I think some of them are even video questions.
Yes, they are.
So let's get to one of those right now.
Let's do it, guys. I'm just also going to check here really quick, so don't mind me. Making sure our desktop audio's on. Great. Look at that. You can see our back end. We got a question in here from, I believe it is London House. Did we get this question last time? London House.
I don't know.
Hey, London, if we already got your question, I feel like we might have already got your question, but shout out. We're going to do it one more time if we haven't already. Let's give a shout out to London House. That's muted.
Hey guys, my question for you today is, do you think we could regress from last year, and like guys like Ernie, Barger, Varsho, and Springer regress from last year, making the team a former shadow of what it once was?
I think we did get this question now that I'm thinking about it, but screw it. Let's ask it again.
The short answer is yes, they absolutely can. However, and this is what we were fighting for earlier up to this stream, is that ultimately there will be other individuals that theoretically should be doing better and should be doing more. Santander is certainly one of them that you can pick. Like, just as easily as we can say George Springer is going to regress, you can say that Santander is going to improve.
Right.
I think that, so can those two things balance each other out?
Right.
Just as quickly as we can say that Ernie Clement is going to regress, could I say that Okamoto is gonna I can't really say improve because he's never been here before, but bring something new to the table? I think so.
Yeah.
Could Barger get better?
Yeah, and could Vladdy just pop off for an MVP year? You know, he had a credible postseason. Does he take that momentum and become the true leader and the superstar?
We
right?
still haven't seen the ceiling of Vladdy. The last 2 years have been really good, and he's certainly been off my hit list when it comes to guys that I need to see more from. He's been doing very well, but we haven't seen the MVP year yet, and you have to imagine like we're gonna get a year where he's top 3 in MVP votes again, right? Isn't that that's gonna happen eventually?
Eventually,
right?
That's when you sign that 14-year deal. You're hoping that he would get some MVP votes again, or maybe even win an MVP. So you never know, right? Like if he just takes a massive step forward and plays like, Cal Raleigh types of levels. I won't say Aaron Judge because he's in a tier of his own, but like almost a 1,000 OPS, 1,000 OPS for most of the year, like. That can carry a squad. Look what happened to the Mariners. Look what happens to the Yankees every year.
Do you think we're ever going to get the homers from Vladdy again? Because they've been
what kind of
steadily going down as time goes on, and it feels like he's changed around his swing a little bit, where it's now we're mega contact, and yeah, we still have some power. I mean, the ball comes out hot, but it doesn't leave the yard as much as it used to.
When you say homers, you mean like 48, like he had, like 40 plus, kind of?
I mean 40, yeah.
40.
Like, are we gonna see that again?
I think he'll hit a 40 bomb. You know, meaning 40 home runs in the season. I think so. I mean, like, look what happened in the postseason. He had it in him. He clearly had it in him. It's just you got to put it together for a 162, and it felt like he didn't figure it out till the very end. You know, because he actually, I remember this too. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I'm pretty sure that right at the end he did make an adjustment, and his launch angle actually went up a little bit. Whatever that adjustment was, and it worked. I'm pretty sure he took that like 3 or 4 day grace period of the bye that we earned. And he did something. I thought I remember reading something. I could be tripping, but that's why he started hitting bombs. So if he does that for a full 162, then yeah.
It pisses me off because it feels like we know that he has all of the skill, the capabilities to do it. Some guys just don't have the inherent power. And that's just the way that their bodies are built and the way that their swings are constructed. Some guys just don't have that.
Yeah.
Vladdy has too much, right? It's like he's got that. Even when he makes like little light contact, it's like bang, like flies off the bat. So it pisses me off that we can't see the crazy power numbers, because it does feel like one of those things where it's just a small adjustment. And we're there. So I do hope that the numbers come back eventually. I think eventually it's got to happen.
Yeah.
Because 23,
that's too low.
23 is low.
He needs that. Again, I remember actually saying this exact same thing some point this offseason. He needs at least 25. But what's 2? You know? But you're right.
But it's
like,
milestones.
It's milestones.
Okay?
He needs to hit the 25 milestone.
Yeah, like 25 isn't that crazy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that you probably weren't even aware of that hit 25 home runs last year.
You know what? He made up for it for the postseason, because he hit 8 in the postseason?
That's true. So technically it was like 31.
Yeah, with like, hammer 16, 17 more games. I don't know what it is, but cool. Cool, awesome. We got another question here. We have 2 more. This one comes in from Lucas, Jays fan 27. Let's give a big shout out to Lucas, the Jays fan 27.
Underrated move content. Hey, Nick and Adam, love your content. And my question is, what do you think an underrated move for the Jays to make this offseason should be? I personally think they should still sign a lefty reliever, possibly Taylor Rogers, which is Tyler Rogers' brother, or Danny Coulomb. Thanks. Bye.
Shout out to Lucas.
Underrated move. Honestly, that's an idea right there, man. Go out and get the brothers.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I have seen some people talking about Luis Arias.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Is this something that we have been sleeping on and should not be sleeping on right now?
He plays third,
he plays second,
first,
third. He's obviously an average machine. I think defensively speaking, I might be talking out of my ass right here, but I think he kind of slaps.
No, he
doesn't.
So yeah, I think maybe I could have convinced myself if that was the case, but I'm already kind of talking myself out of it because he is an infielder. Like he's just more logjam, and it's like we kind of already have.
Why did I think he was good? I thought I saw somebody tell me that he was good.
I don't know,
but
the batting average obviously is crazy.
Yeah.
But
he's basically worse Bo Bichette.
He's worse Bo Bichette. Yeah, literally, much worse. It's literally just looking at Baseball Savant. It's expected batting average, squared up percentage, whiff, and K are the only things
he's in the 100th percentile.
Yeah, that's crazy. But everything else one.
One, yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, no, we got Okamoto. We're good. And Ernie Clement and Andres Jimenez.
Dude,
that up the middle though is gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
it's gonna be crazy.
Ultimately, it's tough to think about the underrated move because it's an underrated move. I don't even know what it is yet until it happens.
Yeah.
But ultimately, what I would like to see this team do, because I don't think realistically, you go out and you get another bat at this point, it kind of has to be somebody of Cody Bellinger's caliber. Anyone else
Yeah.
is like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? Why do we need more depth here? We
Yeah.
have guys in the minors that could do this job.
That's the thing, right? You got to get a top end guy or a bullpen help. I like what
The
Lucas was
bullpen help
saying.
makes sense.
Lefty,
The lefty bullpen thing, that's
Lefty
something
bullpen.
that's fallen to the the
Wayside,
side.
yeah.
As we've been in the Tucker sweepstakes and Bo Bichette leaves and stuff. That's been something that we've been saying for a long period of time. It feels like we're just fine with it. There's some guys that they love and some guys that they just don't love on this team for whatever. Like Eric Lauer, we don't love Eric Lauer. I'm speculating here, of course, but we don't give Eric Lauer the opportunity.
We don't think he's
Brendan
as good as
Little.
he is.
Oh, Brendan Little can do no wrong. Brendan Little can do no wrong. High leverage moment, bases loaded. Fuck it.
Neither can Jeff Hoffman. Jeff Hoffman could never fail us.
No wrong.
Never.
But yeah, lefty bullpen help.
Yeah, we need that.
Critical.
We got a couple donos in here. Jason Stanley saying BJT stream from a Skybox 2026. Let's go. Dude, I've been wanting that for so long. Can someone hit up someone upper Blue Jays level and help us get there? That'd be great. But we might have something very interesting coming a little bit. Not confirmed yet, but we could do some crazy stuff soon with some streams. Ari Pie with a $13.99. Thank you, Ari Pie. Saying, do you have a few sneaky lefty bats we could trade for that could slide into the 2-hole? Honestly, man, off the rip, I don't know. People are talking about Stephen Kwan. Yeah,
that's a name that's popped up. I literally, like people have been talking about Stephen Kwan, and I do think that would definitely be somebody that we could be interested in. He's a lefty. I do think that Kwan's got relatively good defense.
Yeah,
he hits for average. So I mean, this is somebody that would be really nice. I don't know if you classify that as an underrated or like an under talked about thing, because at the end of the day, like we just said, if you're going to add to this lineup, it can't be somebody that you haven't heard of before. It's got to be somebody that's proven, that's nice, that deserves more playing time than some of the others. You're taking playing time away from Addison Barger. You're taking playing time away from Nathan Lucas. So if you're going to do that, then I want to know that the guy that we're giving it to is worthy of that playing time.
Stephen Kwan, though, kind of slaps. I remember we wanted him at the trade deadline.
Oh, I think Stephen Kwan makes... I like Stephen Kwan quite a bit. I like Stephen Kwan quite a bit.
Screw it, Jays. Get Stephen Kwan. Just get all the Guardians. Do it again. Because that's a guy. I think it's free agent 2028. So you'd have him for 2 years. I guess it extends the window a little bit. But like, what are you willing to give up for him? I don't know. We'll see. I believe we had one more dono in here. Or was that it? That was the last dono. We got one more question. Oh, yes, Brendan Donovan, another guy.
It's another. These are the rumors.
Left-handed bat.
Yeah, these have been popping up a little bit. Is that Brendan Donovan could be an individual that's available? Now, the one thing that I will say about Brendan Donovan is he did have a really strong season last year, folks. 287 batting average, no homers to his name, but an OPS plus of 119. So, and these are a lot of things that the Jays like right here. He's won a Gold Glove in the past. These are a lot of things that the Jays like. However, he's a free agent in 2028, and he put up 2.7 WAR last year. Get ready to see Ricky T and then some in the other direction.
Yeah. He's left field. How much left field does he play? Does he play a decent amount? Because, again, I'm just worried about, like, the infield is just, like, full of kind of these dudes, you know what I mean?
Primarily second baseman, but played enough outfield last year that you could move him over there and you'd feel fine about it.
They like utility,
I think that he could move the needle. I like it. You could warrant playing him over. So you could warrant playing him over Barger or warrant playing him over Lucas for sure. But this is now an individual that's going to cost a lot because this is one of St. Louis's better players. And they have him for a few more seasons after this. He's still 20. This is the prime of his. Actually, it's his birthday today. Shout out to you. Happy birthday, Brendan Donovan.
Do you know he's from Germany, too?
29 years old.
Crazy. That's crazy. Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, again, like, those aren't necessarily needle movers, but they're guys that will definitely be scrappy and help the Blue Jays win. Now, I guess to kind of, like, finish this podcast off, kind of rounding it all the way back to the beginning we're talking about here. Everyone's kind of still upset about the whole Kyle Tucker, Bo Bichette thing. We got a fan here passionately talking about this over the audio. I want to give him his 90 seconds of fame right here. Going off. He spits absolute facts. Let's give a shout out here to, I believe it is Benjamin.
And let us know how many of you in the chat feel this way.
Here we go, guys.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say I'm really upset and confused. What's going on? Kyle Tucker to the Dodgers? And they paid him $60 million? That's insane. That's more money than God. Really. Like, I thought it was gonna be a J, but we don't need him. We already had an A+ offseason. We got the Japanese guy. We got Trevor Rogers. We got Dylan Cease. We signed Beaver. Like, we're doing good, but I'm like, where's our closer? I'm waiting.
And I do think you're onto
Jeff
something there.
Hartman,
Yes.
he
Where's the
can't
closer?
get it done when it matters. They burnt out his arm way too much. These people are just ring chasers. You know what I think the Jays should do? Okay, we go out and get Steven Kwan. If they want to play
Wow,
like
there
that,
it is.
because Nathan Lucas, he ain't that guy. The AL is gonna be nasty this year. You got Boston, you got Baltimore, you got Tampa Bay, you got the Yankees, and it's not gonna be easy. We need to go out and get that person. We got a rotation. We need a closer. We got a bat. So let me know what y'all think.
Okay, well, shout out to Benjamin. And guys, let us know if you kind of feel the same way, where it's like, what the hell? Kyle Tucker was supposed to be the guy, and he's not the guy. And he primarily talking about like going and getting closer. And like, I feel you. We should have actually gotten that a long time ago. We should have got that late November, early December, but we didn't. And we missed out on everybody who was available. So unfortunately, I just don't think that that's in the books, in the cards right now. But there is still an option to get some sort of Kyle Tucker replacement, or what we were hoping for, which is Cody Bellinger. It's not the same, but that would be hopefully a plan B option. And if they do that, I mean, we're kind of, now we're really rolling. We're still rolling, right? We're still doing good.
Look, I think what everybody needs to come to terms with is that, sadly, we were close and we were starting to wrap our heads around maybe being the overwhelming favorite in the American League.
Yeah.
And if you go and you get Bo Bichette or Kyle Tucker, then you definitely would have been the overwhelming favorite in the American League. We are not going to be the overwhelming favorite in the American League anymore. We are one of a group of really good teams that could go the distance, but we're not distinguishable necessarily from New York or from Seattle or maybe a couple others in there. We'll see how the season progresses.
Mm-hmm.
We would have been if we would have gotten one of those. We're still in a good spot. I still like our chances to make playoffs. We just aren't at a plus 200 to win the World Series walking into the season like the Dodgers are.
Yeah.
That's what we have to come to terms with. And I think I can come to terms with that. I think that this is a good enough team that they warrant your viewership in 2026, and they will deliver enough to give us a chance to go to the World Series again, or at the very least make the playoffs and have a look at it.
And you could think we're crazy for thinking that, because I think the same way, and you could disagree, but I'm just looking again at the picture in the landscape of the American League, and I'm agreeing. I think we got a great chance. There's one more thing before we sign off tonight that I saw someone brought up, and it's Blue Jays 47. Is Arjun Namala an option for the bench or something like that? Because now that Bo Bichette's gone, what have we been saying for a long time now? Arjun Namala was always going to be the Bo Bichette replacement. I don't think he's ready yet. He's got a few more years, I believe, or a couple at least.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Future.
Just something to put on your radar, that now there's the clear opening in the next couple of years.
And maybe that's why they weren't as gung-ho to get Bo, because they know that they have that guy waiting in the wings.
And they got multiple other guys,
and
too.
he should be really good. And another really cool thing about Arjun Namala is, and this isn't the only reason why you should have him on the team, but he kind of opens the door to a whole new market.
The Indian market.
Right?
That's super cool.
I mean, how many, there's not a whole lot in MLB, right? And that's like a whole other thing that, maybe the Jays can kind of tap into. And there's a lot of reasons to like Arjun. He's a good baseball player. He does need a little bit more time to cook. Mm-hmm. We are going to sign off momentarily, but shout out, because we did miss this donation, to True North Strong and Free with the $6.99 dono, saying from a business standpoint, Okamoto is the best signing of the offseason and may turn out to be a very good player down the stretch. Love it. And I tend to agree with you, right?
You're right.
Hey, same thing, right? You're opening up a whole new market. We've been saying for the longest time, Toronto, we want to be in that Japanese market. We want to be there. In fact, I read this this opinion piece as well recently, talking about how Toronto, we should try to market ourselves as being the international team.
Oh, yeah. I agree. We're the non-American team.
Exactly.
The one non-American
what do
team.
we have that's part of our identity? Yes, we are Canadian. We are also the only Canadian team and the only non-American team. We want to be a melting pot of all of these different really good baseball players from around the world.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do.
Think of it this way. I know he's not Korean, but you go get Cody Potts, the KBO MVP. A lot of eyeballs on him. You went and you got Okamoto, who, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, the Giants over there in the NPB were looked at like the Yankees. Like that was like the historic franchise. You got him. You got that superstar right there. Keep adding. Like, hey, I kind of like it. You know, hey, third most searched team in the world. Blue Jays are not going for a reason, right? They're not going anywhere, guys. I know it sucks. And honestly, I've been feeling today just a little bit down, just again, how much we just missed out and how it came so fast in the last 24 hours. But I'm not giving my hopes up. I guess that's what I'm trying to say for this season, because we're still a good baseball team. We made great moves back in November. We just forgot about it because we're so fixated on Bo Bichette and Kyle Tucker. See, offseason's not over yet. They could make a sneaky move like some of you guys are suggesting, and then it's time to roll into spring training and see what the boys do on the field, because at the end of the day, that's what matters.
But let us know your thoughts about all this in the comments down below. If you haven't already done so, please make sure to hit that like, smash that subscribe button, hit the hype button too if you have the option to do so. $4 a month to become a YouTube member. Shout out and thank you to all of our current YouTube members. You guys are amazing.
Guys, thank you so much for watching.
And as always,
go Jays, go!